Hello, and welcome back to Diatonic Dissection, where we crack open music to see what makes it tick. This time, we're headed to the Spring Yard Zone, which I can only describe as an abandoned amusement park / scrapyard, with a city and forest in the background. With a number of springs and spiked balls in the area, I can only assume that the park was closed due to a worryingly high number of tetanus cases. The usual YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, frame a loved one for murder in the name of the algorithm gods. If you want the sheet music for this, then head on over to the Diatonic Dissection Patreon, where you will find all of this sheet music for free. Patreon.com/Diatonic Dissection. The link is down below to save you trying to spell it all out. And hey, if you're over there and want to chuck in $1 or $2, that'd be great. But no worries if not. Let's get started. The tempo is 100 BPM, the key is A minor, and as always, we'll start with the chords and then go into the individual parts. Although I said that the key is A minor, there are accidental C and F sharps in the chords, so I don't know if that counts. The initial chord is A minor, so we'll just say that the key is A minor. The chords are A minor, B minor, and F over A, and it finishes with an A major 7, the C sharp of which leads very, very nicely into the next section. The main melody is pretty simple, and as a result, there isn't much to say about it. The counterpoint seems fairly simple, but there are some things to be aware of, like arpeggios and starting before the bar. Thankfully, it's not too fast, so it should be alright. As with some of the other tracks in the Sonic soundtrack, there is a kind of counterpart, not counterpoint, to the main melody. You could theoretically play both of them at the same time, but it would require a bit of clever movement, etc. On its own, it's not too difficult, so here we go. Nakamura again shows his bass playing roots with a very interesting bass part, which is fun and pretty damn funky. Lots of staccato notes and playing off the beat, so get ready to get yo groove on. drums for Spring Yard Zone are great and could be considered an apology for the boredom inflicted by Marble Zone. You'll be responsible for maintaining the very 90s feel, that feel being slightly swung. For those of you who don't know, the swing feel is a very specific thing. It converts 16th notes into 8th and 16th note triplets, so it gives it a very bouncy feel. Here is an example on drums. For the pickup bar, you'll be playing the swing feel with the snare on the downbeat and the hi-hat on the offbeat, before doing it all on the snare and bass drum, leading into the main part. The kick will be doing a lot of emphasizing across the bar lines too, so keep it all nice and steady and in line with the hi-hat. The section finishes with a small fill that leads into section B. You'll notice from the video why people generally use real cymbals with electronic drums, as the rubber pads don't allow for much nuance in playing. With all these parts combined, you get Captain Planet! No, but you actually have all the parts to make a fun big band track like Sing Sing Sing. If you don't know it by name, you will know it by ear, as it is one of the most famous pieces of big band music. The trombones are playing the bass line, the saxophones the main melody and backing, and trumpets are filling in with the twiddles. In keeping with the jazz style, I wrote a particularly bad walking bass line, and the drums are just going ham. There is a key change of sorts for section B. All of the B's become flattened and the sheet music looks a lot cleaner. Usually the first chord is based on the key, but the first chord is B flat, so it doesn't match with the key being D minor. Not that it really matters or anything, but I like to have the correct details. The final chord is A major, so it has a C sharp, much like the A major 7 at the end of section A, which leads back to D minor in the purest sense of music theory, but the first chord of section A is A minor, so who knows at this point, I'm going back to bed. The chords for this section are B flat, A minor, G minor, and F, finishing on the A major. The main melody starts off the beat to maintain the 90s pop feel. No massive jumps, etc., so not much else to say. The counterpoint is closer to an actual counterpoint as it is rhythmically linked to the main melody, but it is harmonically independent. On guitar there is a bit of string crossing, but it isn't very fast, so it shouldn't be too difficult. You may remember in the Marble Zone video, link up at the corner, I said how the arpeggio section required a lot of practice. The next idea did as well, as it involved combining the main melody and the counterpoint on piano to create a samba. I don't have any new calluses like I did with the Marble Zone, but my hands feel like they're rusting away. The extra melody part is similar to the counterpoint but not as complicated. It's mainly descending and ascending between F and A. Again, lots of staccato notes to make the bass part funky. Melodically, it's following the other parts with the moving up and down. With the drums, more of the same from section A. Keep it steady. And that's it. Another short video, but we've still stretched 40 seconds of music into however many minutes of analysis. As always, leave a like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, or stand within 100 yards of a reigning monarch while not wearing socks in the name of the algorithm god. If you want the sheet music for this, head on over to the Diatonic Dissection Patreon, patreon.com/Diatonic Dissection. I hope that you've enjoyed the video and found it interesting / entertaining if you're still here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!